Dear children, welcome to the online classes of biology. So today we'll study a new topic, that is Hardy-Weinberg principle. So this principle is a kind of ideal, okay, it is applicable to an ideal population where there is no gene exchange. There should not be any gene exchange. I'll explain all the what the phenomenon that changes this law, but this law is applicable to a sealed kind of population where there is no exchange of gene. So this principle says that allele frequency. Do you remember what is alleles? So when we study tallness, isn't it? There were two alleles, capital T and small t, isn't it? So these two alleles are there for which is representing the gene tallness. Understood? So this allele frequencies. So there are different kinds of organisms. When you talk about the tallness, isn't it? Some are having capital T, some are having capital T, small t, and some are having, isn't it? What are they? Capital T, and then what? Then they can have capital T, small t, and some are having small t. So, like this, different types of organisms you can find in a population, isn't it? And in a given population, isn't it? In a given population, we can find out what is the frequency of occurrence of alleles, isn't it? Capital A, how many means in which frequency, how often you can find in an organism. Okay, then small a or small t. Here we can take. I had given the example of tallness, isn't it? So, what is the frequency of occurrence of the allele capital T, and what is the what frequency of occurring of T in the same population, isn't it? So likewise we can find out, and this frequency is what that will be remaining fixed, okay, and it will remain same after many generation also. Understood? So this is what in short Hardy-Weinberg's principle means. This is applicable to only a population which is isolated. There should not be any migration, gene flow, all that I am going to explain one by one. There should not be any exchange of genes, or their DNA content or their alleles should remain constant. Okay, by how it will become constant, I will explain the various factors that changes this frequencies. So Hardy-Weinberg principle is applied to a population which is isolated, which is an ideal population. Understood? And so, what is the definition of this? The principle says that allele frequencies in a population are stable and is constant from generation to generation. Understood? So, this is the definition of the principle. That is, the allele frequency, the possibility of occurrence of that particular allele in a population will remain same. Okay, if there is a change in the allelic frequency, okay, if capital T and small t, you have to find out the frequencies, or the individuals with capital T, then capital T, small t, and small t, small t. Okay, as I'm giving this example because you are very familiar with tallness. So, if you find any organisms, or if this frequency, if it is getting changed, that means that population is undergoing evolution. Understood? So, like this, you can find that the gene pool or the alleles of a population also remains constant. So this is known as genetic equilibrium, and this principle is what Hardy-Weinberg's principle. So what is Hardy-Weinberg's principle? That is, the allele frequencies in a population are stable and is constant from generation to generation. Okay, so here one graph is also given, that is diagrammatic representation of the operation of natural selection. Okay, how natural selection occurs and how it operates, okay, in a population. So you can see this is the parental population. Okay, This is the parental population, and you can see that get divided, or that if what natural selection operates in this way, that particular population will get changed into the different populations like this. Here you see, okay, here some phenotypes were there, like small sized, medium sized, and large size. So here natural selection or nature is selecting the medium sized individual. Understood? And you see here, as the peak in what peak gets higher and narrower, that means that population is favoring what medium sized individual only. That means nature is selecting that, and the population is what growing. Okay, understood? And here you see the peak shift to one direction. Okay, means to one direction it is getting what shifted. So like tall and dwarf plants, if it is there, okay, if the nature is selecting only dwarf plants, so to one direction, isn't it? From the tall and dwarf plants, the natural selection is operating and what promoting dwarf sized organisms. That is what it's a directional selection, isn't it? And now you see the two peaks, if from this parental what the population, if two peaks are forming, okay, or two this one is forming, then you can say this population is disruptive, isn't it? That is getting divided, or that is forming two from that founder population, or from the what to say, from the parental population, two different types of species are formed. So the species is getting disrupted, okay, or disrupted. Understood? So like this, what this is only the diagrammatic representation of operation of natural selection. Okay, so what we were studying, now we were studying that the population, in the population, if allelic frequencies, okay, are same, and if it is constant, that is called what? Hardy-Weinberg's principle, isn't it? In a population, the frequency of genes or alleles, or you can say the gene pool. Okay, what is gene pool? The total genes and their alleles, isn't it? In an individual, there will be many genes present on their different DNA and their alleles. Okay, how many types of alleles are there, and what is the total gene content? That is known as gene pool. And this gene pool will not show any difference. Okay, it will remain constant and is equal to 1. So this that is sum total of all the allelic frequencies is considered as constant and 1. So this is what Hardy-Weinberg's principle, and I told this is an ideal condition and is what that we can apply to a population which is isolated. Okay, so we can represent it in the form of an equation. So very carefully listen. That is the allele frequencies P and Q. So I'm just changing that capital T small t into capital A and small a. Okay. So here just for what that time I just gave the example for your reference, capital T small t. Any example you can take. Okay. So if the frequency of some alleles to occur in a population is taken as P and Q. Okay, for example, P and Q represent the frequency of allele A and allele small a. So this I told, these capital A and small a are alleles, dominant allele and recessive allele. So the frequency of occurrence of capital A, okay, can be represented by the letter P. Okay, P means A, and the frequency of or the frequency of occurring small a can be taken as Q. Okay, so what is P and Q? P is the probability or frequency of the allele capital A to occur in a population. Okay, and Q is what? It is the frequency of small a to occur in a population. Understood? So the frequency of individuals AA, isn't it? Some are having AA genotype Some are having A small, capital A small a combination, isn't it? You know that. And some are having capital A small a. So if we consider the probability of the allele capital A to occur in a population as P, then the individuals with homozygous dominant means what? Capital A, capital A. So that probability can be written as P square, right? Isn't it? We can write it as P square. Means the probability of occurring capital A, if it is P, then individuals with capital A, genetic constitution or genotype, that probability will be, or frequency can be written as P square. And that of small a, isn't it? I told the probability or frequency of the occurrence of small a is Q. Then individuals with small a, the frequency of individuals with small a can be Q square, isn't it? So what will be the probability of individuals with capital A small a? It will be PQ, isn't it? It can be represented as PQ. Understood? PQ. So like this, if you take, we can write it as an equation, that is P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1. So this is what the Hardy-Weinberg's principle, isn't it? That is, the allele frequencies in a population will be constant and it will be equal to 1. Okay, the sum total of them will be 1. So this is the expansion of the equation P plus Q the whole square is, isn't it? So you might have studied that in maths, A plus B the whole square, isn't it? So likewise we can write P plus Q the whole square. Okay, this equation or Hardy-Weinberg's equation. What is it? P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1. This is a binomial expression of what? P plus Q the whole square. Okay. So when we measure the frequency, if any difference is there, means if we are not getting a constant, or if the sum total of the frequencies are not 1, understood? That means what? Change of frequency of alleles in a population happened, and okay, means that population is evolving. Understood? So in which direction it can evolve? It can be stabilizing, it can be disruptive, or it can be directional. So anyway, the evolution will takes place. So disturbance in genetic equilibrium or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium indicates that what? The population is getting evolved or it is changed. Understood? So this much is clear. Hardy-Weinberg's equation says that, understood, in a population, if there is what? No factors that I am going to say, okay, like what? Gene flow, genetic drift, mutation, okay, genetic recombination, natural selection. These factors are not taking place. The gene frequency or allelic frequency remains same and it will be constant. Is it clear? So let's see what are the factors that affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Okay, so they are first is what? Migration or gene flow from a population. Some organisms are going to another population. Okay, so what happened? There will be there were tall plants and tall plants I am not taking. Okay, tall legged, okay, lambs were there or sheeps were there, and short legged sheeps were there. And what, in a population there were five tall legged sheeps were there and 5 short legged. Now out of this short legged, 5 short legged long legged, okay, long legged will be easy to understand, isn't it? Long legged sheeps, if they migrated or they move to another population, what will happen? There will be gene flow. When the organisms moves, what will happen? The gene of that also got changed, isn't it? Now gene frequency in that particular population got changed. Why? Some of them have migrated. Understood? Then Next is what? Genetic drift. Okay. So genetic drift is by chance. Okay, some accidental way. Many organisms with means different characters were there, different phenotypes were there, tall, dwarf, and just imagine one field with tall and dwarf wheat. Okay, and when some wind comes, what will happen? All the tall ones will be fallen down, isn't it? And the population of both of them, means that includes both tall and dwarf plants, will change into what? Dwarf ones now, isn't it? So likewise, any huge change happens, that is known as genetic drift. Okay, so if the change in gene frequency occurs by chance, okay, by any unpredicted what phenomenons, then it is known as genetic drift. Okay, so in this way, what happens? Sometimes the gene frequency of the new sample of the population may be entirely different from the old ones. Okay, so I told there were a population with tall and dwarf wheat plants. Now a wind came and all the tall plants got distracted. Okay, now that population will represent, or that only dwarf plant, isn't it? Means that population got changed into a new one. Understood? So the original population which was there, okay, before, and in which this unexpected or some chance factor came, and that changed that population into new one, isn't it? The original drifted population is known as the founder, or that founders. Okay, that is known as the founders, and the effect is known as founder effect. Means there was a population with different kinds of organisms, and due to some chance factors, what happened? The population become a new one. Understood? Now the old population is known as the founder, and the effect is known as founder effect. Is it clear? Then, so two factors I told. One is gene flow, second is genetic drift. Then what is mutation? Any change in the inheritable change in the genetic material, isn't it? Then genetic recombination means what? We have learned recombination. Understood? Where what two linkage group is there, and recombination. We have learned no linkage and recombination. In linkage groups, usually what will not happen? A recombination will not happen, isn't it? Linkage group means what? When we studied the other chapter, fifth chapter, isn't it? I have told you there will be a group of genes that will get inherited together. So if there is any change in this linkage group happens in the all the population, okay, then also what cannot be applied? Hardy-Weinberg's law will not be applied, or it will change. Okay, then another is what? The natural selection. Okay, natural selection also should not apply or should not operate in this population. Then this what population will follow what? Hardy-Weinberg's principle. So Hardy-Weinberg's principle, what it says, there should not be any change in the gene or DNA content of the organisms found in a particular area. Understood? And if there is any change in the alleles, then this means that indicates that that population is undergoing some evolutionary process. Is it clear? So it says that, what it says? It says that the gene frequency or allele frequencies of a population remains constant. Okay, and it will be same generation after generation. So this much is clear to you now. So if mutations are advantageous, that can be selected by the nature, isn't it? That will be selected by the nature, and that helps it, or it's a process. Natural selection is a process in which heritable variations, and if that heritable variations are enabling or helping the better survival, okay, that will be selected by the nature, and that will give chance for the organisms to produce more progeny. Understood? So like this you can see that slowly the population, okay, will be, one population will be changed into another. Understood? So natural selection can lead to stabilization, in which individuals with what mean values, medium character values that will be selected, isn't it? Tall and dwarf. So nature will select the medium sized ones, okay? Or sometimes it can be directional. I told either tall or dwarf plants can be selected, okay? That is directional change means what? More individuals acquire value other than the mean value. Understood? Or it can be disruptive. Disruptive means more individuals acquire peripheral character value means some of them will be some that among the population both tall and dwarf was there. So this will get splitted into two. Understood? So you can say that it's a kind of disruptive natural selection. Understood? Natural selection can lead to stabilization or directional change or disruption. Understood? From the graph we have already studied this. So this much is clear. So Hardy-Weinberg's law. Then what are the factors that changes the Hardy-Weinberg's law? Then genetic drift, founder effect, all that you should know. So hope this much is very clear to you. Thank you.